G'day YouTubers, and welcome to another video. I'm afraid this is another off-water video. Things have settled down a bit in life and the weather's looking pretty good for next week, so I expect to be able to take some time and get out on the water next week. Next weekend should be an on-water video, hopefully catching some fish. In the meantime, I thought I'd just show you what I've been working on by way of solar charging my boat. I'll do a proper video on the installation at a later date, but in the meantime I just thought I'd throw this one up. This is the latest addition to the boat, and this is just a quick intro to it. I'm going to put a full video up of doing the wiring and everything for it at a later date. Very time poor at the moment. I want to get out fishing, and I'm not going to get that video done before the weekend. And I did want to put something up, so I thought I'd show you this idea. These are the plugs to plug in the rest of the wiring for it. They'll fall down over that side of the boat and keep this all clear. The area will be up. I've got some bungee cord to attach here just to stop it blowing off. I've got another idea for the bungee cords as well, because that's a bit loose. And the other idea was to tie some ropes onto these corners here, down with a loop in the end, and put this bungee around here and then loop that, put the loop into there. Thought that might hold it a little bit more secure. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do that yet. I'll decide before I get the boat out on the water and do something about that. As you can see, it comes apart fairly easy to stay back in the cabin when I'm moving. I don't want to leave it up here while I'm moving. Getting salt water on it won't damage it, but having all salt stains over it's going to degrade the number of watts I can get out of it to charge the batteries. So anyway, that's the panel. It's a flexible panel, as you can see. Probably should have got one of the ones that fold up, which would take up less room in the cabin, but this was cheaper. And since the whole idea was fairly experimental, I decided I'll just go with that for the time being. These are the wires here, and they plug into another little piece of wire that comes down here, and that'll go into that solar plug there. I've got my plug for my reel there and just an auxiliary plug for spotlights and things there. So anyway, the solar plug takes it all the way back here to this Victron unit, which is a solar charge controller. And from there it's distributed over to the batteries. I've got a switch mounted up there so I can control whether the controller is connected to the batteries or not. So the idea is to have the solar on when the engine's off and then switch it off and let the engine charge the batteries when I'm running along. So I'll do a diagram up and do a full installation video on this at a later date. Not quite sure when I'll get to that, but it's on the agenda and I've got the video put aside for it. That's it for this video, all short and sweet. Stay tuned for next week's on-water video. Until then, good fishing.